Curtis Calhoun here with MMA News, and right now I am joined by a former UFC title challenger. Marlon Moraes is getting ready to face Shane Burgos in his PFL debut in November. How's it going, Marlon?
Everything's great, my friend. Training is going great, Kurt, and I'm happy to do what I love, and I can't wait for November 25th.
Absolutely, man. And first things first, man, I kind of want to ask you, like, what was the deciding factor? Because you mentioned earlier this year that you were retired from MMA and then you got this opportunity with the PFL. So what was it about the PFL that made you change your mind in terms of your retirement and all that?
Something new, something new, new division, and break the odds and fight for someone that I care. I care about Ray, I care about the PFL, and man, new life, new goals, and I'm excited to do that again.
Yeah, and another thing you haven't done in a while is move to 145 pounds, man. So how much of a relief is that to now have to deal with too much of a weight cut and make that move to featherweight?
It's much more enjoyable. I know some of those guys got the reach, but I got the speed and I got my weapons, and I can match anyone in this division and put on a show. That's all that matter for me. Matter for me, get in there, have a good night, fight well, and man, be a tough fight to anyone. And I believe I'll be on November 25th, and I'm gonna shock the world.
No doubt about it, man. And I want to ask you about that. Like, do you feel like your speed, especially making that move up and weight from bantamweight to featherweight, that your speed will be a big advantage for you?
Yeah, definitely. Uh, I've been hanging with the best 135ers in the world, and for quite a bit, and I did well. So I've been training with the 45ers in the gym and all my life, 55ers. So that's nothing different, man. It's a matter of getting that and fight. And I'm a big fan of Frank Edgar, and he was the champion at 55. He challenged for the belt at 45. He's a top 10 fighter in the 35. So weight's just a number. You gotta believe yourself and use your weapons to win the fight and make the matchup come to your way.
And a lot has changed with the PFL, formerly the World Series of Fighting back when you were there. Obviously, there's a season format, playoff format. What are your thoughts on this regular season format with the PFL, the quick turnarounds in between fights and all that?
It's great, especially for me. I think it's advantage for me. Fight amazing. It's man, it's a great life experience being a tournament like that. Fight every step, the qualifies, get the spot on the top four, fight the semifinal, and maybe reach the finals. That's amazing. And I'm a big fan of the show. I'm a big fan of Ray and what they are doing for the sport. And I can't wait, man. I can't wait to see these guys performing on November 25th, see who's going to be the champion and who I'm going to be chasing next year.
When the PFL came to you with the Shane Burgos fight, was that a surprise at all to you? Because you guys are both former UFC fighters. Was that a surprise? Was that a matchup that you were expecting?
I wasn't expecting to be my first fight, but his name came to the table, and like I always did, man, I said yes, and we're gonna fight. And after they come with the name, I start to think, and I saw they need a big fight. They need to put the good matchups for this show. Is gonna be a big one, and man, I'm in, and I'm gonna put on a show, and I won't disappoint anyone.
What are your thoughts on the PFL adding other top talent like Thiago Santos, yourself, Shane Burgos, Aspen Ladd just signed with the PFL too? What are your thoughts on just kind of the layout of the PFL and its standing in the sport?
Man, we still got a lot to do for the sport, all of us. And I believe sometimes a change in life is great. You see a different logo, you go to a different octagon, see different people. For a lot of people can work, for a lot of people could not, but why not do, because when you love something, you always gotta find a way to get to your goals.
And I was about to ask about that. Like, what keeps you motivated at this point in your career, right? Because obviously, you, as we talked about earlier this year, you retired, then unretired. Like, what are some of your goals with the PFL? What do you want PFL fans to know about you?
Man, what excites me? It's go to the gym, have a fight in lineup, and live the life. I love the life, man. I love to be around the fighters. I love to be in the gym. I love to get my face punched. I love to punch people's face. The injuries and the days you don't want to go to the gym, and when you don't have it, you miss it, and you see. And I felt a little bit, and I don't want to feel again. I want to be in it, and I want to put in a show.
No doubt about it, man. And a few more questions before we wrap things up here. I want to switch gears a little bit. A former opponent of yours, of course, Jose Aldo, recently announced his retirement. I guess I want to get your thoughts on that and his legacy in the sport overall.
Man, I've been training with Aldo a long time ago. We fought, but the most intriguing thing in my life, like Jose Aldo, was the first time I went to a MMA show was Mecca in a city near my town, Teresopolis. And when I saw that light guy fighting, I said, man, I think I can do that. And I'm thankful for him to motivate people like me, chase a career. Today I have a family and I feed my family. I helped my parents. So I'm thankful for guys like Jose Aldo, like Anderson Silva, Hand Culturi, Minotauro, guys like that, guys that brought the game, and they gave to a lot of us fighters the opportunity to live off the sport.
No doubt about it, man. And it sounds like Aldo might potentially switch over to boxing if he ends up making that move as a former opponent of his, as a guy that's trained with him. How do you feel like he would do in the boxing ring?
I think he could do well. He can fight guys. He's a tough guy, and I think the boxing would be a little easy on his body, because MMA is wrestling, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, and the boxing, you just kind of only use more the upper body. Of course, you do the track, but it's kind of easier on your body. And I believe he could do that, definitely. Man, he was a champion. He was one of the best fighters ever. So that guy can do anything he wants.
No doubt about it, man. And I got to ask you a little bit about your former division, the UFC bantamweight division. Obviously, we got a big fight coming up between Aljamain Sterling and TJ Dillashaw. What's your prediction for that fight?
Man, that's a tough one. I believe Sterling is a tough guy. He can beat anyone in the world, but I just feel like Dillashaw is too good. Like he makes things up well. He can fight on the ground, and his striking is just in a different level than Sterling's. I respect him a lot, but just write down, man. If he's striking with Dillashaw, this fight Dillashaw is gonna make it look easy.
What improvements do you feel like Sterling's made, and how do you feel like a rematch between yourself and Sterling would go now after he's made those improvements?
Man, Sterling is a good fighter, but I just don't think his striking is there. I just people just stay in the range, and they respect his kicks, but his grappling is good, his wrestling is good, his mentality is amazing. But I think I could match up really well with him, definitely.
I got you, man. And last question for me. Obviously, got to ask for your message to the PFL fans, and what can they expect in November?
Man, that's $6 million on the line. They can expect a lot of things. I'm coming. Shane Burgos is coming. Aspen Lady, a lot of other good fights. So why not join us November 25th, guys? This is gonna be an amazing night, and we are gonna make history.
Before we wrap things up here, I'll give you the floor to shout out any sponsors you have, shout out your team, all that good stuff. I'll give you the final word.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much. I just want to thank my family and God. I'm here. I'm healthy. that's my main sponsor up there.
Absolutely, man. Well, hey, Marlon, it was great to meet you. Great to chat with you. I'm sure we'll
Thank you,
chat
Kurt.
again soon. And thank you so much for the time, my man. Appreciate it.
Awesome, Kurt. Have a good night, my friend.